rocking back and forth on the ball of your foot. Shoulders down. Think of that gentle zipper drawing the abs in. And find that east-west breath. Inhale into the ribs and then down. Let's go 2 more. And down, and last one. And let's make it a bit more purposeful. Rise up. In the rise, drop down to a squat. Lower your heels. Push the bar out. Drop briefly into a hamstring stretch. And then drop your tailbone heavy and curl it up. Let's rise up. Squat down. Lower the heels, push the bar out, push your tush out, drop gently into the shoulders, give a little no on the neck. We'll come back to a bit more here, and then slowly curl the spine up. Now, as you curl the spine up, if you need to bend your knees for softening the back, go ahead. Rise up, squat down, neutral spine, neutral pelvis, lower the heels, push the bar, push the legs out, drop into the shoulders, give a little rocking back and forth, just that first initial hello hammies. And then bend the knees and slowly peel up. We're going to reverse that. Squat it down, rise up, find your balance point, pull the pole in, lift, and lower the heels. Couple more. Squat and releve. Lengthen tall. Remember, if you've got anything going on in your toes, just don't rise as high or skip out the releve component. And down. One more time. Squat down, releve, lengthen tall, and lower. So just sending that pole to the front. Let's peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae. Press out your legs. Now with the pole, mindful, the arm on top is going to get more stretch in the armpit. So make sure when you kind of go from left to right that you switch which hand is on top. Here I just want you rocking back and forth. So lean back, lift the balls of your feet and lie them flat. Inhale, exhale, you draw those abs in. And then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, peel to come all the way up, and just switch the hand that's on top. But give me a little extension here. As you open, push that bar away, big breath. And then come all the way to tall. Peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae. Send those legs out again. Top arm has switched. Drop into your armpit and rock it back and forth again. Inhale, exhale as you go. Breathe into that. Again, if your hammies are tight, bend the knees a little bit. Take a nice strong inhale. Bend the knees fully. Drop the tailbone, come all the way up. Pull that bar in, lift the heart, let that pelvis go forward a little bit. Push the bar forward. And then bring it back to center. So go ahead, find yourself in your squat. Stay here. Lift the heels, lower the heels. Lift the heels and lower the heels. Again, minimal pressure into the pole. So you're holding on to it, but it's not about that. It's giving you a bit of a brace just for balance purpose. So maybe you can come a little higher on the ball of your foot, but don't depend on it fully. If you can deepen your squat, get your booty down there a little lower as you're starting to get warm. Now go ahead and leave the heels lifted in a little pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay lifted, rise up. And go one more time. Still on the ball of the foot. Pulse it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way to tall. Lower your heels. Widen out the legs a little farther. Peel it down. Push the pole off of the right leg. Drop into your armpit and rotate into your spine. So as you rotate down, look from the floor to the sky. Lean into the hip of the same side as pole. And just feel the stretch. So in this position, you've got the pole off the one side of your body, right? And you're rotating through to that side. Now we're going to add a little action to this. We're going to squat down, pretend you're grabbing something, and pull as you stand all the way up. As you stand up, rotate the opposite direction. So it's a regular squat now, and pull it up. Inhale, squat down. Exhale, pull up. Let's go 4 more, getting all the big muscles warmed up here, you guys. 3 more, breath out. And 2. Last one, stay in the up for me. With that rotation, open up your shoulders, stretch that arm. Really big breath here, you guys. Look to that hand if the neckline will. And then let it come all the way down. Roll the shoulder, just bring the feet in tighter. Roll the elbow. And then big backstroke. Let your whole body move with this. Just let that arm have some mobilization here, that shoulder girdle. Give a little wiggle there. Place that pole on the opposite foot. Hinge the hips back. Rotate. And down you go, opposite direction. Lean your weight towards that back hip and towards the side that the pole is on. Increase the inhale, nose, exhale, mouth as you're finding your connections. Bring it back to center. Drop into your squat. Reach the hand. And we're going to pull the opposite direction. So we're squatting down and pulling up. Big squat down and stand it up. Really pull that arm. Take a peek to the far corner of the room as you go down and up, getting some heat. And let's go ahead and stay in the up. Reach that arm actively. Massive breath here. And then bring it all the way back. Bring your feet in tight. Start your shoulder roll. Just kind of wiggle. When you're ready, start your elbow roll. Look to the front, look to the back. And then your big backstroke for me. All the way around, guys. And then go ahead and wiggle that off. With that in mind, go ahead and grab your stick. Have your legs quite wide. Bring those arms up. And we're just going to come with wide legs to start with. Teeter-totter over, pull the bottom hand in, reach the top hand. Now, if this feels okay as you lean your hips away, to make it a bit more intense, bring your feet in closer, and now lean. Imagine someone's pulling that pole away from you. Look to the floor and stretch into that lateral flexion in the spine. Nice big breath. Bring it all the way up to tall. Widen again, just to start with. Start your lateral flexion. If it's not too bad, pull the bottom half in. Still not too bad, step in. Imagine someone's pulling the pole away and find that deeper lateral. Oh, brought me another bone, did you? Nice big inhale into the side breath. And then exhale, bring it all the way out. So go ahead wide. We're going to give a little figure eight here. So come down into a squat and then rotate it around. Give lateral flexion, lengthen and lift up. And then bend as you come all the way down again. And then all the way up, lateral flexion. And then all the way down, and then switch directions, guys. All the way through. Give an extension as you lean back if your back will invite. So you're just trying to get bigger and bigger with each of your movements as you open up. And then all the way to the bottom, fists down, and cruise on down there. Let's see where the hips are going to go. Oh, no, let me get that for you. Sorry, just bear with me, you guys. I threw her bone right onto the camera, which is brilliant. There you go. Which means I would lose all of you guys. So we're just going to spin through those hips a little bit. Come up on the toes if that'll invite. Get your hips open. Now, if this is difficult, stand a little taller and be up here. If you're okay with it, down you go. Spin around, open up the hips. Inhale, exhale. Just test the waters on how those hips are moving this morning. Or I guess this afternoon for you, Lisa. And then keeping the hands down on the ground, extend the legs up and just dangle there for a moment. Feel that hamstring stretch. If this is difficult, bend the knees and put your hands on your shins or your quads versus down on the ground if you can't get there. That's fine. Couple inhales, exhales, and then bend the knees, slowly peel all the way up. Roll those shoulders, and we're just going to get a little more chest expansion work. So the pole's going to go behind you. Your palms are going to face out. You're in sits bones parallel, and we're just going to press away and bring it down. So just push those arms away. As you push away, don't let yourself roll forward. So there's a sheet or a board in front of your body, and it's keeping you straight up and down. And you're just pushing the palms behind. If this is difficult, widen your hands more versus narrow. Narrow is going to be more difficult. You'll get more stretch. So having said that, if you want more stretch, bring those hands a little closer and now press. And feel that just changes the dynamics of that stretch a little bit. Inhale, exhale as you go. Give me one more and hold it there. Find a squat position and let's get the arms going with the squat. So drop down, push the arms up, bring them down. Press it up, bring them down. So now we're holding that squat again. And we're pushing those arms as far as we can, opening up that anterior deltoid. Let's go 4 more. Tend to be pretty tight there. 3 more. Exhale, 2. And last one, let that bar go down. Roll the spine and vertebrae by vertebrae, stack it all the way too tall. Roll those shoulders. A last little bit of rotation. If you're tight, you're going to hold the pole here. If you're okay, you're going to take it just behind, but I don't want you to have it on the neck. I want you to have it on the shoulder component. And then if you're able to, the hands just kind of peekaboo up front. Now, if that's too much on the shoulders, you're here, okay, with the arms crossed. Find yourself in parallel sits bones. Give a little rotation. The pelvis is going to want to move. Keep just the ribs moving in the cervical and bring it back to center. It's quite isolated. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. 2 more. Inhale, rotate. Watch the pelvis doesn't go. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center, bring that all the way out. Place your pole just to the front of your mat. If you know you're using weights, go ahead and bring them out. Put them on either side of your mat. You're going to have to move your bum. You're right where I belong. Come here. I brought you out your own yoga mat. Thank you. All right, start at the end of your mat. Reach your arms. Come around the corner and find the ground. Bend those knees. Walk it out to 4-point stance. 4, 3, knees go down on 2 and 1. Uncurl the toes. Let's do some sternum drops. So the abs are pulled in, neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Lower through your shoulders, press away. Just the shoulder blades are moving, right? The spine itself is staying in the same alignment. So we're not doing cat-cow yet. We're just getting those shoulder blades warmed up. Push away, stay away. Let's do cat-cow. Round your spine, hollow the abdomen, and then sit back on your heels. As you do that, reach forward with your fingers, overextend, which kind of gives you an armpit stretch, and then come back up to angry. Untuck your tailbone, look to the sky, give me that cow. One more time, drop your tailbone around your spine, exhale. Inhale, sit back on your heels, walk those fingers forward, feel that armpit stretch here. Come back up into tall, untuck the tailbone, go through, find your cow, and then bring it into neutral. Let's do a quick little thread the needle. Reach one arm down through to the side, and then rotate that shoulder down. Now, if you can get the shoulder down, not just the head, you can remove the hand off the floor. If your head is the only thing down, please don't remove the hand. Link it behind, give a nice little stretch into rotation. Hand goes back down, push away from the floor. Let's go to the other side. Thread your needle, drop your shoulder down, then peekaboo through to your back hip. If your head and your shoulder are down, bring the arm up. Anchor it behind, roll through into the shoulder girdle. Nice big breath here. Bring the hand down, press it all the way out, and then put the hands what feels too far forward, like you're leaning into them. From there, I'm going to pull my hips, get a little bit of extension in my spine, go cautiously, and then pull it back. So if you've got lots going on in hip flexors or in the lower back, you're going to edge into this very carefully. All right, just allow that spine to feel that extension. And then we're going to do a little floppy here. I'm going to have you come all the way down, bend the elbows. Now, if you know you're a bit tighter, you're going to stay on the elbows for floppy and press up. Don't squeeze your glutes, don't pull your abs in. If you're feeling okay, you can come a little higher. Open the lower back, feel the extension occur. Try and relax off the glutes, let your hip flexors have an opener. Let that spine have some mobility. And then gently bring it down. So remember, it's not swan, we're not connecting here. One more time, let everything go. Feel that back, get movement in the lumbar and the lower part of the thoracic. Don't be shy about looking up with your headline as well. The whole idea here is to get the vertebrae actually moving and gently bring it down. Beautiful. Connect in a little deeper. Put your hands right by the side of your body. Bring your knees in a little tighter, and we're going to kind of do a little posterior tilt here, a little bit of supported time. Push up. So if this push-up's too difficult, you can bring your knees in tighter. If it's easy, you can bring the feet or the knees off. Down in 3. 1, 2, 3. Push away. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, down, down, up. So we go lower, 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 right? A little bit more. Press. You've got 2 more, gang. Down, down, down. Exhale, push away. One more time. Down, down, down. Push away. Press back into your hips. Curl your toes. Let's stretch out the toes. Really purposefully get them tucked under. Walk it back and sit back on your toes. Now, if you've got any toe stuff going on, right, be very careful with this. It gives them a good stretch. Try to avoid sickling out to the side. Get those heels right underneath your sits bones and sit back on them. If you're okay, you're going to take your hands, reach and open. If you can do arrow pose, you're going to interlace. If this is too much on your toes, come up. At any time, paddle out. Right, so we're just getting a little opener there. Into the feet, into the front chest line. Nice big breath here. And then slowly let that come out. We're going into pouncing cat. I'll start from the knees, but if you want to go right from the toes, you can. So from knees, I'm just going to pull forward and press back. So I'm just getting my shoulders and my hip joints moving, my knee joints. If I'm feeling okay, up come the knees, right? We're in full plank and we're pouncing back and forth. Choose what's working for you. Let's go 4 more and back and 3. Get a good pounce going and 2. So in this pounce, stay in the forward, either on the knees or on the feet. Lift one leg and hold. Doesn't matter to me which one. 5, 4, 3, 2. Put that foot down and then lift the other foot. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that down. Take one leg and take a really big stretch. Pull it forward towards your hands wide, wide on the outside of your mat. Drop your knee. Open your chest up through to the sky. Bring that hand back down. Press your hips up like you're hitting a down dog in between this movement, and then step forward with the other leg. You got it. Drop the knee, open your chest. Just getting back into movement here, guys. Bring that hand down, push it away, and let's make this flow a little faster. So step forward, rotate open. Hand goes down, push your hips. Other leg, step forward, knee goes down, rotate open. Bring it down. We're going to add one more little nasty. Step forward here. This hand comes off. I'm going to take this back leg. I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to balance. And then I'm going to bring it all the way back. Push my hips up. Other side, step through. Good. Now bring that leg through. Carefully find your balance point. Kick it right out in front of you. Yes. And then pull it all the way back. Push your hips back and hang out here, prancing into that calf line and into those toes, guys. Shoulders down and away. Inhale, exhale. Drop both heels. Go a little deeper into the hamstrings. I always find I like to grab my mat here so I don't feel I'm going to slip. And give a little poodle wag. If this is difficult, lift the heels, bend the knees. Not a big deal. Wiggle the tailbone from left to right. And then slowly walk your hands to your feet. In 4, 3, bend the knees as you need to. On 2 and 1, we're all the way in. Fully bend, slowly peel all the way up. Big inhale at the top. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Give a little wiggle there. Go ahead and step forward. Grab your pole for balance. And you're just going to place that pole in the same side of the leg that's stretching behind you. Then my weight is going to go into my front arm, front hand, if I'm using it. Start with the bend and stretch of that front leg. Keep your back leg straight. It's a forward lean lunge. So Erin, instead of being up here, straighten out your back leg, lean forward, bend into, yes. Now bend down. Let your chest go with it. Let your chest go with it. So you're not keeping it, there it is. Get right down into that front knee. Yes. Now reach that front arm if you're adding it. So it's more of a forward lunge versus a downward lunge. Let's go 4 more. Doesn't matter if your knee goes over your toe, you guys. 2 more. It's not a big deal. 1, stay in the down. Reach the arm to the floor, pull that leg in a bit, up comes the back leg. Harder, that pole moves forward, lift and lower. 5. Hello, Coco. Are you comfortable? Last 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way up to tall stand. The hand comes up and we're going to pulse to the sky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back, hold it back here this time, and give me tricep kickbacks with that arm. So my elbow's bending and straightening and it's kicking back. Go for 4, hold your balance. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg carefully down. Watch you don't get bit. Ow, little shithead, he's nibbling at me. And then drop down from the sky. Press. And press. So now it's a more traditional lunge, straight down as far as you can. 4 more, beautiful. And 3, last 2. And on this one, go all the way down, reach that arm, rotate away from your pole. Pelvis is still, hold as deep as you can. For 4, and 3, zipper up those abs. Last 2, And 1. Lean forward, place that weight down carefully, drop your knee, and push and pull into the front hip. Here you can take that pull to the other side, just sort of to remind you what leg is going forward. Push gently into it. And then if you're okay, stay into that stretch. Now my hip flexors are still a little wonky, so I'm going to stay high. If you're able to, push right in, reach one arm, reach the other, or grab your back leg and go into full stretch. Again, I'm staying out of that. If it feels good for you, get right into it. Nice. Big breath for me. And then push your hips back, lift the ball of your foot, and come down into your hamstrings. Inhale, exhale. Lean your body weight forward over that front leg. Inhale, exhale. So here we're going to have both hands to the inside of the front leg. And then I'm going to find my 4-point stance. I'm going to lift off that leg and rotate it all the way to the back. Keep that leg in the air. You can do this with a bent knee or straight leg, but I'm going to bring it all the way forward, tap it down, bring it all the way back, and hold. All the way forward, tap the floor, all the way back, and hold. Work on that hip mobility. Your spine will give a little bit of lateral flexion. That's okay. Push away from the floor into your 4-point stance. Let's just move that hip in its socket. Let's go 2 more. All the way back. Nice, you guys. 1 more. Keep it in the back, reaching away. Firm up some strength in the arms. Bring off your opposite hand as to the leg in the air. Lower, lift. 1 arm, 1 leg, abs drawn in. Let's go 4 more. 3, squeeze that booty, back leg is straight. 2, 1, both hands down, curl the toes, press into that stretch, and give a little release there. Wiggle it back and forth. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet, all the way in. Give a nice big breath here, and slowly peel all the way to tall. Other side, full sequence. So that pull is dictating what side it's on, which means that leg goes forward. Whoops, sorry, the other leg goes forward. So opposite leg forward as to the side of the pole, right? And then grab your weight if you're choosing to use one. Start with your weight on your quad and just get your leg pattern going. Have that forward lean. I'm up on the back ball of foot. So I'm doing a forward lean. My legs have to be quite far away from each other, quite far apart. Yeah, there you go. And my chest, if it stays up here, it's actually easier. If I lean forward and maintain like a neutral spine, neutral pelvis in that forward lean, I'll put more weight into my butt cheek and work it a little harder. Now I'm going to start that row. Reach and row. Reach and row. So instead of reaching to the floor, I'm reaching at an angle out. Makes it a little more challenging. 4 more. 3, push away with power with that glute. 2 more. Stay in the down. Sneak that leg in a little bit. Pull can move farther forward. Teeter-totter up. Lower, lift. Inhale, exhale. Squeeze that butt cheek as you go. And that arm is reaching in opposition now. For 4, 3, use your breath. 2, and then bring it all the way to the front. Stand tall. Arm by your side and lift lower. Lift lower. Watch hip hike here. When we lift this leg, we tend to lift the hip. Keep your hips and your pelvis square. Right? So the arm goes up, the leg goes up. They go together. Let's go for 4 and 3. You got it. And 2. And we're going to step back into that lunge again. But this time it's a shorter lunge. And we're going down and up to the earth. Pull down from the sky. Go as deep as you can. If you can get that knee to gently touch, go ahead. Doesn't have to be a fast movement. For 4, 3, 2, we're going to hold down as deep as we can. Reach that arm and rotate away from your pole. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, big breath, 2, and 1. Reach it forward, sneak that weight down carefully, sneak the leg down. So we're just going to push in and out from the hip here. Push in and out into the hip flexor stretch. Pull down if you don't need it. If you can go deeper into that forward lean, go ahead. Again, I'm being really cautious on how deep I go into my hips. If it feels good for you, go right in there. Hold into the stretch. One arm up, both arms up, or if you've got the bind, if you can grab that back leg, go ahead. Lift the heart, open it up. Couple inhales, exhales. Beautiful. And then push your hips back, straighten out that front leg, and bring yourself down for the hammy stretch. I like a little point and flex of my front foot. Dorsey and plantar flexion, just getting a little movement through the ankle. And then when you're ready, both hands to the inside of the front leg. That front leg's quite far forward, so if you need to, kind of pull it to the side to initiate your movement, and then you're going to lift it off. Make sure you're in a 3-point stance. Bring it forward, touch, bring it all the way back, and turn the hips. Your ASI faces the floor at the end here. So it'll turn and do a side lateral positioning, and then it'll face the floor when you've got it reaching behind you. So it's a touch and a reach. Inhale, exhale, or other breath. As long as you're not holding your breath, I'm all good. Just don't hold your breath. Go one more time. Leave that leg reaching there. Find your balance point. Remove your opposite hand, 4-point stance. And we've gone now into watchdog. Lift and lower. Squeeze the glute as that arm and leg both lift and lower in opposition. Go 4. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Watch you're not letting your back arch as you lift your leg. 2 more. And 1. Bring both hands back in. Curl your toes. Push away with some nice power from the floor. Lift your knees an inch, short plank 1. My knees are holding just a baby lift. Try and only be like 2 inches off the floor, holding for 5, 4, draw those abs in, 3, 2, lift, push back, give a little break here, let your head go. We're going to come back into short plank 1 or short plank 2 if you're feeling good. So I'm going to come back down into my short plank. I'm going to lift just one knee without lifting my hips. Just lift and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. We're alternating. Lift and lower. Give me one more. Lift and lower. Now press. Find your down dog. Walk your feet towards your hands all the way in. And then grab your pole and slowly peel to tall. Come to the very front of your mat. Find a lateral rotation. My toes are in the corners of my mat. I'm going to sit really big, and I'm going to have you guys just roll right back. I'm not going to because I'm going to land on my fur baby. So go ahead and roll, and then come into tall sit. You got to move. Come here. Go chew over there. Thank you. So from tall sit, I just want you to extend your legs out. So I'm not fully on my mat. My legs are in lateral rotation. I'm sitting tall. I'm going to scoop off my sits bones and draw my legs up off the floor at the same time. Now I'm going to drag them back and sit into tall. Again, scoop off your sits. Cervical knot, everything hollows. I drag my legs in. As I drag, I am in a lateral rotation, a wide V. And then I'm going to lengthen into my tall. Excuse me. Go one more time. Scoop and roll back. Take that pull underneath your legs. And then I just want you to put it into the nook of your knee and then underhand grip it so that it's pulling your shoulders down, your elbows are tucked in. We're going to do sacral rock here. We're going to roll back just a little bit off our sits bones, which just is a stronger contraction in the abs, and then roll forward a bit. Exhale back. So this is subtle. It's tiny. Just feel the change in the intensity of the connection between your ribs and your hips. We're going to move this into rolling like a ball. If you're feeling ambitious, you can go to open leg rocker. I'll show you both. So first one I'm going to do is rolling like a ball. I'm going to roll back and then find my balance and freeze. If I'm feeling ambitious, I'm going to roll it into tall. I'm going to roll back and then I'm going to come up and hold for my open leg rocker. Choose where you want to go. You've got 4 of those. Watch that the distance between your knees and your shoulders and the heels and your toes doesn't change. So you're not throwing your head or throwing your legs to accomplish this movement. It's an increase in the abdominal connection or crunch to have it occur. Go one more time And then on this one, if you're doing open leg rocker, you're going to bend the knees to go back. We're going to roll back and gently fold out. Sneak that pull out. Put the feet down and give me a little windshield washer with your hands above your head. Inhale, exhale as you go. Let that spine open up. We just held it quite tight. We just want to release it out a bit here. Now, if you're a headrest person, grab your headrest, put it underneath your neckline, and then find your feet into parallel sits bones. Let's do a little bit of toe tap, gang. So find a supported spine. Pull reaching to the sky is your first option. Harder is going to be reaching above your head without it resting down. Don't let your ribs pop. So I'm going to start here until I get warmed up. I'm going to knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. My legs are slightly apart, and I'm just going to start that really small little toe tap. So traditionally, toe tap is done in a supported spine. If you're feeling quite strong and you do not feel you're moving through your core, you can switch that to a neutral spine, which then mimics movement patterns in life a little bit more realistically. But sometimes that supported spine on an iffy back is a bit nicer. Now, if it's working for you, the arms are heavy, reach the hands over the head and hold them. Watch the rib pop. You know your stepping stone options. If it's working for you, you're going to start to extend one leg and pull it in, and then extend the other. Be mindful here as you reach one leg away, you don't pull the other leg in closer to counterbalance. There's a brick wall in front of your quads. Still working for you, you can go into scissor here. Press it down, bring it up. So the legs can stay straight the whole time. No movement through your torso at all. Breathe as you go. Now, last little challenge here, either keep it tabletop or legs reaching, but I want you to roll your upper torso up. My arms above my head makes it much more difficult, so you can reach your arms to your knees if you want, or keep it here. Watch it's not causing you to roll back. And then I'm going to lower one leg, and then simultaneously lower the other. So I'm holding up, I'm doing a little scissor action. I can do this with bent knees or straight legs, but I'm trying to stay rolled up. Let's go 5. And 4, make it smooth and slow. And 3, roll up, look to your pubic bone or your knees. And 2. And last 1, both legs to the tall, bend the knees, lower that down. Just place the pole to the side, interlace your hands. We're just going to do some traditional. And slide that into the bigger part of your head. Cervical nod and roll up and look to your knees. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. And all you're going to do is just give me a very traditional little ab crunch. Lift, lower, breathe out, breathe in. Draw those abs up and in. Try to avoid yanking on the neck. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Now grab your pole, hold it in one hand off to the side of your body. The other hand is behind your head. Come across, put a bit of pressure into that hand, and bring your chest towards the opposite knee in an oblique crunch. For 5 and 4, you're moving towards the pole. 3 and 2 and 1. Switch sides with the pole, opposite hand on the headline, and crunch. And crunch. So just some traditional little sit-ups. Let's go 5 and 4, support your neck. 3 and 2 and 1, and roll it down. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other, arms above the head. Little windshield washer for recovery. So we're going to do a little tabletop just to warm up those glutes a little bit, but we're going to add some rotation to it, so we are going to do wild thing from it. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. Bring that up. Get yourself fully on your mat, line your heels up with your sits bones, and then your fingers face your booty, and your hands go behind you. A little bit of stretch in the shoulders. If your legs are too far away, bring them in a bit tighter, and then we're just going to lift, squeeze those glutes, look down our body. If your neck is okay, it's going to look forward. This is a massive anterior shoulder stretch if you've got tight shoulders. If your bum's down here, we're trying to lift up. Get that booty as high as you can, and then touch the booty down. And then exhale, squeeze it up. If it bothers your neck, just look to your knees and bring it down. 2 more. Exhale, squeeze and lift. And bring it down. Last one, squeeze and lift. and bring it down. Now keep it in the down. Move your hand, one hand, farther back and turn it away from you. Watch you're not locking out on your elbow joint here, but my fingers are facing away. My other hand's going between my legs. I'm going to go wild thing. I'm going to pull my tail and then lift and come up. Take a moment to set yourself. Should feel a little extension going on in the body. And then touch that booty down. Exhale, wild thing up. Inhale down. One more time. Exhale, wild thing up. Inhale down. Now we're going to change this a bit. I need you to walk your feet out just a little bit from your bum, just a little. And I want you to lift just a little bit. I'm going to take my bottom leg, rotate it, and come over onto a side plank. If this is not okay, my knee's going down. If I'm okay, I'm going to take my back leg and join the party and bring it forward. And then reach the arm, holding for 5. You can go to your elbow. 4, 3, 2. Put that foot back down. Put your butt down. Stay facing the same side. Drop onto the elbow. I'm going to roll my mat. I get really joint sensitive. So I'm going to roll that mat to give that elbow joint a little bit of love. And I can either come from the knees. I'm going to move my pole a bit so you can see knees, or I can keep the foot out. I'm going to keep my foot out. I'm going to prop up and place myself into my plank again. That leg on the top makes it more difficult. If you want to put it forward on the ground, you can. Holding here for 5, arm up, leg off if you can. 4, 3, 2, put the foot down, put your hand down, drop your hips, lift your hips. Drop your hips, lift your hips. Remember, you can be on your knees. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips, pull the knees in for mermaid. Try and settle that hip down, you guys. So just take a few moments to try and rock back, and you almost have to slouch to get that hip just to sort of release down. Once I'm there, I'm going to rotate. One hand lined up with my hip. I'm going to rotate. My first option is both hands down, second smaller back, third reaching. I'm going to come down, lift my back leg, squeeze my butt, and come up. So little mermaid with a bit of teeter-totter. Harder, hand into the small of the back. Watch as you come down, you're not rounding. I'm just keeping either a neutral spine or a slight lengthening sensation. If it feels good, I can stretch the arm and the leg in opposition. So I'm reaching and coming back up. Let's go 3. Should feel the tricep of the back hand. 2, it's the tricep that's dipping you down and up by bending the elbow. 1, come all the way up, tuck that knee in or that hip in, drop the hip down, give me lateral flexion the opposite direction, and a little no on the neckline. Rotate down to that side, bring it back, bring it all the way out. So we have wild thing through to the plank on the opposite side. So I'm going to spin this way just so that I can kind of watch the camera. So my feet are sits bones. This hand is in the middle, this hand is reaching away. I'm going to lift into my wild thing, hold, and bring it back down. So I have 4 more like that. The 4th one we hold there. And 3. Touch it down carefully. Exhale, 2. Squeeze those glutes. And last one. Now on this one, don't step as high. Don't push as high. Make sure you're farther down the far end of your mat where your hand is so your legs have somewhere to go. Lift up a little bit and then stretch out that leg. And then I'm going to rotate onto my arm. Make sure I'm stacked right over top of my wrist. My back leg can stay behind, or I can stack it, and then I can reach. This is going to be a dumbass side for me today. Here we go. Let's hold 5, 4, connect in strong, 3, 2, and 1. Place that knee down and gently bring the opposite knee down. We're coming down to the elbow. Wrap if you've got any joint issues. Knees or feet, up you come. Remember that front leg can be forward or top leg. From here I'm gonna hold first. Lift, reach and reach, holding 5, 4, got my star, 3, 2, nice you guys. Foot down, lower the hips, lift the hips. Take the time to get low as you can. If I drop my hips right down almost to the mat, I get a stretch in my QL. So if I drop down, I'm getting that little stretch. Let's go 3 more. And 2. And 1. Lower the hips. Pull those knees in. Let's find that mermaid. Take the time to kind of get that hip to settle down. Just trying to get all the movements in all the different directions in the spine today, you guys. We haven't moved this way for a while. I know you guys have all been doing a Sunday class on my YouTube anyways, all holiday season, so, right? Not so much. That's okay. I can tell I haven't for sure. Rotate. Let's add that mermaid with a little kick of the leg. Hand can be down, behind your back, reaching is the hardest, down and up. I'm going to extend my leg and extend the arm. When you come up, really think of lifting. And then reach and lift. Hi, noodle. And reach and lift. You should be putting weight into the back arm for that tricep work. Let's go 2 more. And last one, bring it all the way up, tuck that knee in, settle into the hip, trying to release it down, and let's go into our side lateral. Couple good breaths there. Inhale, exhale, and then rotate down towards your mat. Back into the center, and slowly come out. I hope you can't hear the chewing, can you?
No.
Okay, good. That would just be horrible. Sorry, I just realized, ooh, can you hear her chew? Go ahead onto your bellies. Let's get a little extension here. Come all the way down. And I just want you to put your hands into your forehead and wiggle your booty from left to right. Just let everything relax. My legs are parallel, open as comfortable, or they're laterally rotated. It doesn't really matter. Whatever feels good for you. Couple little inhales, exhales. Just get a recovery here. And then go ahead and draw the abs up and in, and then let them go. So I'm just pulling my abs up and letting them go. Try and focus as you're doing this. As you pull your abs up off the floor, don't squeeze your ass. Just your abs, isolate. Now keep your abs drawn up and in gently, don't death grip it. Squeeze both butt cheeks and let your butt cheeks go, but don't let your abs go. Squeeze the glutes, release the glutes, but transversus abdominis and that connection through the abdominals is turned on the whole time. Squeeze the glute and rest it. One more time, squeeze it and rest it. Now keep it squeezing so abs are turned on, glutes are turned on. Lift one leg for length. Don't worry about height. Straighten that knee and let it come down. And then lift the other leg for length and let it come down. Now, your head right now is resting into your hands. Let's add, if you feel good, keep alternating the legs for me in the reaching prone leg extension. And if you're feeling good, bring your head just off your hands. Sneak your hands to the side of your body like they would be in swan, and then flirt your hands off. If you're still okay, give me a little extension in your thoracic and cervical as you continue to lift one leg, lower the other. So now we've turned on all those muscles along the back line, and we're hovering into a gentle extension in the upper thoracic and the cervical. Now, keeping that movement, add the arms for a rhomboid squeeze. So I'm going to lift both arms as I squeeze and lift one leg, and then lower. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Let's go for 4. Get everything squeezing. 3. Keep your height in your spine. 2. And 1. Now reach one leg, reach the other, hold them both off. Hold your hands off. Reach your arms above. Turn your palms to face each other in a wide V, and then pull them back in. So I'm just holding my spine in the same position, and I'm just making a wide V as I straighten out my arms and pull my elbows right back to my waistline. As I pull my elbows back to my waistline, I'm going to lift my spine a bit. So I'm going to lengthen and lift. Must you chew on top of me? Move your bum. Reach and lift. Go 2 more. Pull your abs in. Don't push your abs into the mat. And last one. Pull it all the way in and push yourself back into a child's pose for a little bit of a recovery. All the way through. So if forward flexion is not where you like to go, come into more of a tall stance as you're stretching that out. Whatever feels good for you. A little wiggle of the neckline, a little side to side. And then we're going to come back into a little bit of more traditional swan dive. So go ahead, take a nice strong inhale. Go get it. Move your bum. Come all the way forward. And then bend your knees so your heels come into your tush. Give me a lateral rotation and reach your legs away. Your legs should reach away to the corners of your mat. I like to look and make sure I'm actually in the corners so that both legs are equally in turnout. And then my arms are coming right back beside me. On this one, it's not a floppy, so I want you to pull your abs in and give your booty a little squeeze. Push into your palms, push the marble with your nose, and lengthen up into your swan. Nice, strong connection, not Gumby backed. And lengthen it as it comes down. So glider 1, let's lengthen up, and I'm going to look off to one side without my shoulder going, and glide it down. Really draw those abs in, lengthen it up. Imagine my hand underneath your pelvis. You're not so comfortable with that, so you're drawing your abs up off the floor. This time I'm going to look one direction, opposite heel to tush, glider 2, and lengthen down. One more time, lengthen up, and lengthen down. And this time we're just going to lengthen up and we're just going to hold it here, working on that core strength. Holding for 5. Pull your abs up off the floor. 4, 3, 2. Lengthen as you float down. So from here, we're going to go right into our breaststroke. If your weights are in the way, just give them a little bit of a push. I have lateral rotation still. I'm going to dive into the water by reaching my arms forward, making a V. Then my hands are going to sweep down to the side of my body as I extend. Holding here, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive, breaststroke. Inhale, pinkies to thighs, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. If this is feeling good, lift the legs as you reach your arms down. Hold your thumbs to your shoulders with your legs reaching and lower both down. When you lower both down, don't let go of those abs. And reach. Inhale, pinkies to thighs, hold it, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. 2 more for me, you guys. Pinkies to thighs, thumbs to shoulders, and dive. Give me one last one. Hold it here, lower the legs, reach the arms to the sky, and lower it down. Palms facing the sky. If you're kind of low down with your extension, use your hands to give you a little extra extension, and then see if you can let go partway through and maintain the height. So I use my hands to find my height, and then I remove my hands and try and hold what I just gave it. 4 more. Pull those abs in. 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Sweep those arms. Push back into your child's pose or beach pose. Whatever your recovery is, you guys, totally up to you. Inhale, exhale as you wiggle out of that. Cycle your breaths. Beautiful. When you're good, roll it up to seated down on your heels. And then my hands are going to go forward, 4-point, coming into a down dog or elephant. You guys, lift, get a little stretch there into the hamstrings. Prance the feet, whatever feels natural here. Shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, exhale for me. I'm going to wake up those hammies a little bit. Leave the feet down. Walk your hands towards your feet. And then bend the knees, support yourself as you slowly fold up. We're just going to do a little bit of standing work to get plie as well as side lateral. So we didn't do our lift lower side lateral tradition in the lying position. We're going to do it with a pull. If you're unstable in your hips or you have anything going on in the hips, feel free to do this sequence lying down, right? You just lie on your side. Otherwise, I'm placing that pull forward and out to the side of my leg. The farther it goes, the farther I tick-tock over, the harder it's going to be. So if I have a miffy hip, I might stay with a bit of turnout on my standing leg, slightly bent knee, and I might stay here, right? If I feel okay, I might reach that out, get a bit bigger turnout, and hinge deeper. What happens here is we tend to laterally flex. There's no flexion. This is nice and still, and then the movement is just the leg. Just the leg. So you're going to lift to point, lower to flex. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your standing leg. Inhale, exhale. The farther that arm is out to the side, so my elbow's bent, right? If I wanted to work harder, I'd have that arm straight out. I don't. If you want that, go for it, right? Let's go 2 more. Now keep that leg reaching and give me circles with that leg. So that hip is coming straight out from your socket, and then I'm going behind and forward, trying not to move my chest line back and forth. And then go ahead and circle the other direction. Again, if your hip is miffy, your standing hip is just working too hard, stand taller so that the focus can be on the mobilizing leg. Beautiful. Yeah, hold it here, bend your knee in, kick it out. Bend it in, kick it out. Now take that top arm, bend it in, stand tall, laterally flex, and bend. So now I'm going to open and sink. Bend your standing leg when you go down. Let's go 4. Woo! And 3. There she is. And 2. Careful of that standing leg. It's working hard. 1 and teeter-totter out. Give a little sway in the hips, guys. Again, a little more gentle, staying taller, the arm in closer, a little more aggressive, farther lean. If you're choosing that, turn your leg out more. Knee, hip, ankle. Lift, lower. So this hip is my miffy one, so I'm going to stay a little taller on it. Be true to yourself, you guys. Listen to what your joints are doing, right? If you're screaming in the wrong places, something's compensating. And you're better off to come out and do a smaller movement in the right joints and muscles than fight through the wrong section of the body, right? Now give me little circles. Torso's remaining the same, so rib hip doesn't change here. Just the hip circling. Circle the other way for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to laterally rotate out my hip and pull it in. As I do that, I bring my elbow to my knee. And then as I stretch it out, I bend my standing leg and I laterally flex down. So it's an open and a down. Let's go 5 and 4 and 3. Nice. Last 2 and last 1 and teeter-totter out. That's a tough one. Give the hips a little wiggle. We'll give the piriformis a good stretch, I promise, guys. Find a big plie position for me. Stand nice and tall. Use your pole and come down into a plie. So if I'm too wide on the plie, when I lift my heels here, it'll feel really awkward. So come in a little tighter than what you probably normally would on a plie. Sink down, lift your heels, lengthen tall, and lower. Plie, releve, a little bit of bar, and down. Plie, releve, grow tall, and down. 2 more. Down, lift, lengthen. 1 more. Down, lift, lengthen. This time rise the heels up, lower it down, pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay as deep as you can. Lower your heels, lift your heels. Try not to death grip the pole. If you can get rid of the pole, go ahead, right? I'm going to use mine. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Keep the heels both lifted and just tap one heel then the other. Zipper those abs, chest is lifted. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both lifted, lengthen tall, lower it down. Beautiful. Heel toe in. Nice. So here we're going to take that one leg back in our lunge again, and we're just going to bring it right down and pull in and out of that hip flexor stretch. Gently glide into it, and when it feels good, go ahead and stay in your hip flexor. Again, I'm not staying in there, but if you can go deep, go right ahead and go right into your hip flexor. One arm up, other arm up. You may not need the pull. Lift your heart. If you can double bind, go ahead. And then we are going to go into gecko on this one. We didn't do it in warm-up. Push the hips back. Move that front knee off to the side, laterally rotate it. Bring your hands down. If you're okay bringing your elbows down, go ahead. Couple inhales, exhales. Get into the stretch as deep as your hips and knees will invite. If this feels okay, take the same hand as the leg that's forward, push it into the knee, and give me a little rotation open for gecko. Full rotation. Slowly come out of that, and then cycle that leg all the way to the back. Curl those toes, lift, find that little mini down dog, and then we're going to do the same thing, but this one we're just going to drive the leg forward. Drive it forward, place your knee down, and then just push in and out from the hip. In and out, just feeling that little movement into the hip flexor. If it's inviting it and it's not aggressive, stay forward. Still okay, push into your hands, lift your heart. Still okay, one arm, the other arm. Bind and grab if you want to. Sort of honor where your body's going. Inhale, exhale as you go. We're still pulling the abs in gently, right? Supporting that body. Gently come out of that, move that foot off to the side, laterally rotate it, and down you come. Lean forward into that hip. If this feels okay, down you go to your elbows. If you've got elbows in you to go that low, please go ahead. Again, I'm staying up on the hands. It's also perfectly fine in this position to shine the sole of your foot up as my knee goes out to the side. That's okay. If you can get your elbows all the way down, go right ahead. If a little sway feels good in your body, go ahead. And then we're going to take that to gecko, where I'm going to press my weight into my hand as I rotate open. Couple little inhales, exhales. And then both hands to the floor. Cycle that leg all the way behind. Curl those toes, lift, find one last elephant down dog. Prance, play with those toes. Watch your shoulders away from your ears. And then plant those feet strong. Heels might be lifted, knees might be bent. Walk back. When you walk back, try not to fingertip it. Try and get your hand down, which means if you need to bend the knees, please do so. Once you're all the way in, look through to your knees, widen out your leg stance, and go into ragdoll. I do a supported ragdoll. That's just for my hips. So my elbows are going on my quads and I'm dangling. If you feel good, just full dangle, please go ahead. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly articulate all the way to tall. Relax out the shoulders. Give those legs a little shake. And let's get a big breath up, you guys. Inhale as we lift the heart to the sky. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Let's go the other direction. Open the fingers. Bring it all the way around. Roll those shoulders. And just give yourself a slapping heart hug. So I'm coming around and I'm actually bringing and trying to tap the back of my shoulders, and I'm alternating the arm on top. Yeah. And then just a little sway from left to right, just letting the shoulder girdle just release. We've done a fair amount of planking holds, and we just want to make sure that that joint is now lengthened back open. Other than that, let's take one last breath up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And we are done.